Before President Trump took office, most media junkies in the U.S. would not have known that ICE stands for the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. But the Trump administration's hardline immigration policies have changed all that. Data published this past week shows that in the past year, ICE arrests in the workplace have gone up by more than 600%. And with the president's ceaseless talking and tweeting about threats like a government shutdown if Democrats refuse to fund his border wall, or that migrant caravan from Honduras, stories about ICE and its sister agency, CBP, Customs and Border Protection, are right up there on the mainstream media's agenda. But some news organizations are doing more than just covering the story. Over the past year, NGOs and legal advocacy groups have collaborated with media outlets to, at the grassroots level, track cases of enforcement abuse. And they train communities to use their own media tools to document wrongdoing. The Listening Post's Flo Phillips now from Texas on some of the media practices and stories that have come out of those collaborations.
They're known as ICE raids, seemingly indiscriminate, often undercover operations to root out illegal immigrants. And they happen across the US, day in, day out. Like the case of Perla Morales Luna, a mother taken in front of her screaming children on a Southern California street in March 2018. Or Juan Hernandez, a mechanic in Los Angeles, arrested at work in September 2017, even though agents had no probable cause or warrant. Or Romulo Avlica Gonzalez, a father of 4, apprehended in February 2017 while dropping his daughter at school. Just 3 examples of thousands. We know about these 3 because they were caught on camera.
Eyewitness footage has been so crucial in exposing ICE's manipulative tactics. Romulo Avlica Gonzalez was arrested by 2 ICE agents who were in unmarked vehicles wearing jackets that only said police, but there's a reason why they don't identify themselves. They're trying to use manipulative tactics to get information from immigrants or people who they've racially profiled in order to arrest and deport them. This happened in February of 2017, and it was really the first high-profile case that really showed what the human price of ICE's new enforcement looked like.
US Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, is not a new body. Its current incarnation, the largest investigative arm of the Department of Homeland Security, was part of a restructuring effort in the wake of 9/11. And it's not as though the Obama administration didn't deport undocumented workers, as many as 20,000 a month by 2016. But Donald Trump has gone further. During his first week in office, the president signed an executive order that rewrote the rules on who ICE should prioritize in its operations, making virtually every undocumented immigrant in the country, all 10.7 million, fair game for arrest and deportation, whether they had a criminal record or not.
The former director of ICE, Mr. Homan, publicly stated that the days of lack of enforcement of immigration laws are over. They should all be scared.
Earlier, if you're in this country illegally and you committed a crime by entering this country, you should be uncomfortable, you should look over your shoulder, and you need to be worried.
Then ICE did something which last 2 administrations had not done. They actually rescinded every single prosecutorial discretion memo dating back till 1973. And apprehending and deporting anyone who comes to your attention became the new policy.
What that's translated to on the street is folks who maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, didn't have to anticipate the possibility of being arrested and deported, now do. We've seen a substantial increase in interest. A lot of stories about the way immigration enforcement unfolds, arrests across the country, families separated, deportations.
Stories about how ICE racially profiles people on the street, picks up immigrants at routine court check-ins, uses contentious surveillance tactics, and makes mass arrests. Some of the journalism does more. Extensive collaborations between news organizations and advocacy groups that have done the research and can show people a thing or 2.
We covered a project that was put together by the Immigrant Defense Project and the Center for Constitutional Rights here in New York City that tracked immigration raids, and it showed a marked increase in operations targeting people with no criminal record. So what we've seen under the Trump administration is a huge increase in arrests. All of these different colors correspond to different types of enforcement activity that was observed. So, like a physical arrest or surveillance or use of force. So we have 128 cases observed here, 48 here.
I think that generally this kind of ICE-focused reporting can serve one of two functions. Either it's basically service journalism, or it can be the kind of traditional accountability journalism. And I think that that latter function is what more of the ICE Watch kind of projects serve. The Marshall Project New York Magazine collaboration was really interesting because it kind of was a mix of the two. It was grounded in the reports of individual immigration enforcement actions and deportations. And in New York in particular, that's fascinating because seeing the mapping of here is what has actually happened is useful to immigrant New Yorkers who can actually turn the ambient buzz of rumors about what might be happening into a sense of what has actually happened and can navigate their own lives accordingly.
Abolish ICE is the collective name given to a growing movement protesting ICE's new mandate and that of its partner agency, Customs and Border Protection, or CBP. The movement was energized by the release of an audio recording back in June with the sounds of children crying out for their parents. And continues today with the president's constant references to the, quote, threat of the migrant caravan.
The criminals, the smugglers, the trespassers marching toward our border, turn back now because you are not getting in.
Events that have gotten a lot of traction in the mainstream.
She started filming from her
And advocacy groups, not just the media, have suggestions on how to tell the story.
FM 100 KTEX.
I'm headed to a series of workshops organized by Witness near McAllen, Texas. It's a city right on the US-Mexican border. Given the spike in immigration enforcement in this particular valley, the group says it's essential to equip people here with the tools and techniques needed to film events as they happen. This program is a crash course in how video can help immigrant communities expose injustices, advocate for asylum seekers, and defend against deportations. It teaches people not just how to document ICE and Border Patrol abuses, but how to do it safely and ethically.
Our trainings focus on digital security, so how to secure the content on your phone, how to secure your communications, your computers, your social media. We also focus on filming tactics. What should you film? What shouldn't you film?
Aprendí que tengo derecho a filmar cuando estoy viendo que está cometiéndose un abuso. Si él me dice que no continúe una filmación, no continuar, pero sí dejar prendido el audio para poder captar, ¿verdad? Si está pasando algo injusto.
And then a really crucial component of our work is helping people think through strategies around what to do after you film. How you save it and how you preserve it can impact whether or not it can be used as evidence in a court case or a legal proceeding.
If I record something, I would just post it online, but like now I know that there's specific procedures that I should take before posting that.
Workshops like this one are having a real impact on local communities. But the power of citizen video is going well beyond.
Having video footage, having kind of a first-person document is often the difference between something being a local story, if that, and a national story. We've seen in several cases things that were initially posted as Facebook videos becoming things that, national outlets have said in their newsroom, gee, this is getting a lot of play on social media, maybe we should write it up.
A video showing an illegal immigrant being arrested.
ICE agents grab her off the street and try to force her into their van.
Arrest, which is getting a lot of attention.
The new technology has become extremely important in your legal defense. For ICE, an unauthorized immigrant is a lawbreaker. For the advocates of that unauthorized person, he or she is not just a lawbreaker, which is true, but he or she is also a parent, he or she is also a contributing member of the community, he or she is also someone who has roots in this place. They want to portray that aspect of the person. And these tools have become very important in making that happen.
Remember Juan Hernandez, the mechanic in LA arrested at work? The entire incident was captured on the shop's surveillance cameras, footage that was used by his defense in court. And that video taken by Romulo Avlica Gonzalez's daughter on her cell phone, that footage went viral, helping him out of immigrant detention 6 months later. Breaking the ice, one video at a time.